This is going to be a video answering question number 5 in the evaluation questions. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? So first of all, here are my media products that I've created, and I have actually used a magazine in particular for inspiration, and that one was Q magazine, you can see here. So in general, the general kind of conventions and forms that a magazine should hold are obviously a front cover, and generally on that you've got your masthead in the top corner, nice and big. You're going to have a central image, you're going to have captions, and you're going to have a barcode, and a strap line, and a title, and use of exaggerated informal language and buzzwords just to attract the reader. So this is, obviously I looked at a few issues, but obviously this is quite a simplistic layout with just that one image on there, which I really love. So I did keep in sync with that. This is my one, and my magazine does have the masthead in the side. In the sort of left-hand corner, nice and big for everyone to see. I've used one kind of central image, and I've used a direct mode of address. So usually your pictures are going to have one on the other, to either form a relationship for your artists and your readers, or to perhaps make them look more in tune with their music. I have got captions, and instead of putting them on both sides, I've challenged the convention of putting them on both sides, and I've kept them down one side, just to keep, just to keep everything sort of in line and on one edge. And it's slightly more simplistic, but I like it and it works, contrasting against him leaning to one side of the wall. So I have also done things like highlighted the writing in the boxes, which you will just see if you look here. Q magazine does that as well. So this is definitely kind of a style or feature that I really liked, and wanted to adopt with my own one. So I have those in there as well. I've obviously got a title which is similar to the Q one, and again something that most magazines really should have. And then I've got a barcode, I've got the price, and I've got a date. So pretty much my magazine does kind of conform to it. It looks like a real one. You can see what LFM stands for, and you can also see a strap line. However, usually in most magazines I think the strap line would kind of go across the whole of the top of the magazine front cover, just like the Q one does here. And although it's kind of similar on what it says, I actually chose just to keep it kind of going on half, 3/4 of the side of the magazine to work well, in contrast with the 3/4 black side and 1/4 white side. So in that respect, my magazine does follow the typical forms and conventions of a real media product, and I've definitely developed them in my own way. Again with the content I've chosen to put in there, the colours I've chosen to use. I've chosen to use like blues and blacks and whites, and I've used black and white images rather than normal ones. So I've used my own things. Obviously the Q magazine as well has got use of graphic features. It's got raindrops on it, but I've kept mine completely natural, so I haven't used that. But obviously I do have graphic features sort of like with the plus sign, so that just again keeps the writing informal, short and snappy. Again, a typical convention of a front cover of a magazine is to keep the language quite informal so that readers aren't overloaded with too much information. I've got a buzzword up there, which I find Q magazine doesn't actually usually offer, but I've given my one a free CD because I wanted to add value more to my magazine. So that sums up the front cover and shows how it's kind of developed into my own magazine from seeing the Q one, as well as which parts kind of stay in style with the conventions and forms of a usual magazine. So if we go to the content page, again I did have inspiration from a Q magazine. This wasn't the original kind of copy I found. This one's from a 2008 issue, and I think the one I used was the 2009 one. But it's a similar layout in that you've got this kind of a box going along at the top with the mini logo and the contents page, and you probably can't see, but you have got the issue number and the date. On the one that I found, the gap here is slightly larger, but then you've got the contents going down sort of one side and underneath with one main image and one small image there. You've also got an every month section here, and then the special there, which relates to the picture. So that's what I've done. So you can see I've got here the same style box going along at the top, and I've chosen to put here the issue number and the date. And I think I've copied that again. It's inspired from the Q magazine, and that's why I've put it there. So that's why that looks like that. I've also got underneath the magazine website so people can go to there. And then obviously, which, you know, this having the content numbers and information does follow the typical conventions of a, you know, content page magazine. I have the every month section, which was a section I really liked, and again I've also done highlights, which the Q magazine does as well. It's a style I really like. And I have one small image here. Mine's developed slightly more to make it my own. I've used graphic images here, and just to kind of, it links in with the front covers. I've got some graphic features on there of stars, but it also, you know, kind of gives it an edge, shows it's a music magazine. I've done my special here, which is Roberta De Luna, my chosen artist, and I've linked that with a big picture here. And again, I think mine's developed with my use of colours. I feel my colours are slightly more brighter. They're blue, black and white, but you know, it stands out more. And I've again contrasted with the black and white image, so it definitely looks better. For my double page spread, I actually decided to go with a Kerrang issue, although it does still mirror the same style as a Q one would be, which is quite simplistic with the use of, you know, an image and obviously an interview. I really like this one here, which has the image on one side and the writing on the other, with obviously some quotes going along the side in a different font. So that's what I've done. I've kept to the typical conventions of a magazine, with having the interview and having images of an artist there. And I really like it. And the reason I chose the Kerrang one is purely because I really like the style, and it is similar to the Q magazine. I have to say, when I researched into them, they were similar, and they had a few more images, which is why I've put another one in the corner there. But also the writing did overlap on the pictures, which is why my writing has overlapped on my big picture too. So I was kind of inspired by both double page spreads there. And I liked both of them, and I wanted to put them both into my own one and develop them further. So that's why I did that. And again, got the black and white images. I've gone for a real nice black and white scene there. I don't know why, but I feel that perhaps for my artist it makes them look more sophisticated, more manly, and you know, more attractive perhaps. You know, it makes them seem, it looks a lot better, I feel, especially in contrast with the three main colours. But overall, you can see that I have developed from my inspirational Q magazine, and I have, you know, kept in sync with some of the styles and forms and conventions of a real media product, and some of them have been challenged ever so slightly.